Don't be going to work thinking everybody's your friend. We come here to make money, not friends. You might meet some cool people and all while you're there. That's cool and all, but don't be giving people too much information about your personal life, because they can't turn around and use it and burn you later on. You know what I'm saying? So just stay to yourself and do what you do, man. Be careful who you trust. There's always somebody watching. There's always somebody listening. It's like a soap opera. People gossip. So be careful what you do and what you say.
Just a reminder that coworkers are not your friends. You go to work and you go home and you get your money and you go straight home. Don't talk to them people. Don't tell them people your business. Don't try to be friendly with them people. Now, I'm not saying you can't be friends with coworkers, but just be careful what you say, because realistically, at most jobs, you might only keep maybe 1 or 2 people when you leave, but everybody else finna go. You're never gonna see them people again the second you leave. So just remember, coworkers are not your friends.
You know what I noticed? That coworkers hate when you come to work, you clock in, do your job, and clock out. They be like, what you did over the weekend? Like, what did you do when you clocked out of work on Friday all the way to Sunday? Like, let me know what you did this weekend. They act like they really care, right? And they really your friend, right? And as soon as you turn your back, here they go telling the whole job about your whole weekend and all your personal business that you done told they ass. Separate personal and business. Like, you go to work to get your money on and go home, not to go to work and make friends, because your coworkers is not your friends whatsoever.
Your coworkers are not your friends. Stop talking to them about your personal business or what you got going on in your life. Some people are monitoring spirits and they just want to know what you got going on to see if you're doing better than them. Don't tell your coworker you just got a new car or your boss, because your boss has power over you. Your boss could cut your hours right after you tell him you got a new car just to be on some hater shit. That's how fucked up some of these people are in the head nowadays. You know what I mean? So I would be very careful with who you call friend at work, because 9 times out of 10, that friend would backdoor you to better their position at that job.
Coworkers are not your friends. And I say that as someone who's been through some things and learned the lesson the hard way. You never know what someone's intention is, and they may seem normal and like they want to be your friend, but their insecurities tend to manifest in jealousy and sabotage when it comes to coworkers. Do not trust them. I understand there will occasionally be an exception. I have a best friend I made at this job that I've been at for 10 years. I have 2 best friends from the job before that I was at for 3 years. So I know that there's exceptions to this, but rule of thumb, your coworkers are not your friends. Repeat it with me. My coworkers are not my friends. Do your job, do your work. You're not there to make friends. Okay, guys? Don't trust them. It won't end well.
So according to all these people, your coworkers shouldn't be your friends. And, I kind of agree with that, because, like, any chance they get, like, if someone can snitch on you and get a promotion or something like that and just sabotage, like, your position there, like, or say you're at a higher position, anybody would willingly sabotage you just to take your position, you know what I'm saying? And obviously there's outliers and exceptions, but it's like, from all these stories, and I don't know, maybe it's like a generalization, but I feel like generally people value, like, their income over their friends as that place of income, you know what I mean? Everyone is, like, no one wants to be at work. Obviously having cool coworkers can make it more bearable and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you're just there to work, you know what I mean? You can be cool with your coworkers, but you should never overshare, like, your friends or anything, because, like, it could always come back and bite you, you know what I mean? People, like, in this video, you hear about people gossiping, like, crazy-ass stories, how, like, some people even get fired because their friends, like, dead-ass snitched on them and stuff that they thought they were cool with, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, let's get into the video.
And I'm going to be honest, y'all bitches be too friendly at work. Y'all do. Y'all do. I don't take none of my coworkers as friends. Bitch, I talk to you at that job, and that's where we leave it. That's where we leave it. Now, if I see you out in public, I'm going to say hello. That's it. That's all. It ain't like, oh, I'm about to start, I'm going to hang out with you now. No, y'all bitches be trying to hang out with your coworkers, and they be trying to figure out why you be in coworker drama. Why you be in drama at work. Stop hanging out with your coworkers. Bitch, you can meet bitches and friends out there in the real world that don't know you at your job. And I stopped that a long time ago, baby. I stopped that a long time ago. That even goes with school. We at school, we are co-workers. We are not friends, okay? Y'all be acting like y'all be buddy, and then y'all be having a falling out, and all of a sudden she don't want to share her notes no more, and now you can't get a passing grade in that class because the only way you was getting a passing grade in that class is by using her notes. That's why you don't go out there and when you doing business, trying to find friends. Okay? Work and school is business. That is business. You don't need no friends, baby.
They not your friends. Your boss, your supervisor, your manager, your co-workers, these are not your friends. The only reason why y'all are with each other and by each other 40 hours a week is because you got a job. This is not by choice. You didn't even know who was in the building until after you got hired, right? Your co-workers can be narcissists. They can be liars. They can be sociopaths. They can be crazy and bipolar and off their meds. You don't know these people. Stop befriending these strangers as tough as y'all are. And I guarantee you, because I've done it. I've had a coworker say, Angela, if you get fired, we all walking out. They still work there. They still work there. They're not quitting. You talking about I'm about to stop making my money because another person got fired. So please stop going to work to make friends. They're not your friends. They are associates and co-workers. Get your money and go home. Don't get caught up in them nonsense. Lay you back.
Don't become friends with people in your workspace. It's not a good idea. I don't recommend, because it's going to become awkward, and then it's going to eventually become a downfall on either party. So I recommend you don't become friends with people in your workspace. Be cordial with them, but don't bring your personal life into that store or into that workspace, because it's going to ruin everything. It's going to make either one of you not want to work there no more. And that's where I'm at right now. And I need my money. So honestly, I don't give a fuck, because we not cool no more. But before that, we was cool. And once that person became the manager, everything was literally spiral downhill. And that's why I'm like, I should never got close to nobody in that where I work at. Dead ass, man. That's like the one thing I can say, like, I don't recommend becoming friends with people. Like, it's rare that you meet all of a sudden your best friend or somebody you hang out with outside of work, because at the end of the day, you got to be nice to each other in the workspace to continue to your job and to continue to keep the job and continue to keep like the peace, I guess. But in there, it's not, no, just don't. Just be nice to people, but don't become best friends with people, because it's going to come back on you.
Yeah, to be honest, you shouldn't be friends. I mean, like, from seeing these TikToks, now they're kind of changing my opinion on it. But it's like, yeah, because they'll do anything to just get ahead. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really matter that much to them, generally, of course. You know what I mean? As always, there's always exceptions to every single rule. You know what I'm saying? But like, no need to overshare, no need to nothing like that. You know what I mean? You're just there to get your money, and then you're there to get out. And the moment you guys have like a fallout, or if there's any drama, like, I always hear about like work drama and stuff. It's like, you're grown ass people having drama at work. Like, why do you have drama at work? Like, if you have a problem, I think you're grown enough to like go talk to them. Like, say this person keeps leaving their thing in the break room or something. You know what I mean? Like, or someone keeps moving your stuff or something like that. Like, you can have a conversation with them, or you could take it up with somebody higher. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're grown enough to like be able to work through your own issues and resolve them with people. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, do you guys understand or no? Because, or maybe I'm out of touch. Because I heard this saying before. Like, people age no matter what, but they don't always grow up. You know what I'm saying? So these people are still like in high school like mindsets and stuff. That's probably why drama occurs. But me personally, I don't know though, because I'm still a teenager. I'm still a high schooler. So yeah, I'm not tapped in like that. So who knows?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but when you at work, you ain't got no friends. Them people that you work with, y'all kiki, and y'all cool and everything, those are not your friends. They're not your friends. Stop being so damn friendly. Stop telling people your business. Them motherfuckers ain't your friends. When you in the work environment, it's an environment of competition. Because if they can get rid of competition in order to get a promotion or to get favorable action, they will mess you up so that way they can get it. Okay? Understand, this is survival of the fittest. Do what you got to do and get the hell on. Stop trying to make everybody your friend, because they're not your friend. Stop trying to be all cool and buddy with people in the work environment. It's called a work. It's called a job. Everybody is there to get money and get the on. Stop trying to, whatever. If they tell you, oh, we family in the work environment, they lying to you. They lying to you. Because how you collect info on people, how you collect intel on people is by deceiving them. and then using that information to get rid of them. Come on now, y'all gotta think. Stop playing.
One of the biggest mistakes you can make in your career is thinking that your coworkers and your bosses are your friends. They are not your friends. Anything you say to them can be used against you. Whether it's something you did on the weekend, whether you tell them about your side hustle or your job aspirations, whatever it is, these people are not your friends. And when it makes sense, they will use whatever you've told them against you. So if a coworker or your boss asks you what you did at the weekend, just say, not much. I laid low. Don't tell them about how you went out on the weekend with your friends. Don't tell them about the concert you went out to. Don't tell them anything. And I know what you're thinking. This seems really extreme. But time after time, I have seen people say things that come back to bite them in the future. Remember, the idea of work is to earn money. It's to trade time for money, perhaps find something you're passionate about. But the purpose of work is definitely not to make friends. So be careful what you say and who you say it to.
This is a reminder that the people at your job are not your friends and they do not care about you. The second they get too comfortable, their respect goes out the window. I will never forget the time that my mom was battling cancer and I had to go take care of her like literally days before she passed. And I let my supervisor know this, and I come back to work only to find out that she's going around telling my coworkers that, oh, I don't know why she needed time off anyway. Her and her mom didn't get along. That is my mother. Like, you only get one mom. And like, you know, everybody vent about their mom or, you know, the past or just whatever the case may be. But that just wasn't her place to say that. Like, the audacity. I will never forget that. Mind you, I was going on a FLMA leave. So it's like, you wasn't even supposed to be telling nobody that, but just the fact that you took it upon yourself to talk, not only disclose that to other people, but talk shit. Oh, baby. Okay. And also, stop telling them your business. I don't care how little it may seem. Like, my thing is, I never talked about my mom to this woman, but you know how you just have small talk with your coworker, and it might have been like, oh yeah, my mom used to do that to me when I was little too, or just, you know, just literally small talk that nobody's gonna think about after you leave the office. That's what it was. So for her to take that and to say that is just like,
To be honest, there isn't really much I can say. Like, you guys can look at these stories and these experiences and stuff like that and be like, damn, you know what I mean? I hope that doesn't happen to me. But I can't really add much on, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, just be careful who you trust. And I think that's a lesson, like, all out through your life, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't trust your friends crazy. You know, like, even if they're like your best friend or something, people will always do what benefits them. On average, you know what I mean? Like, generally, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will do whatever they want. It'll benefit them at least. Like, if it benefits them enough, they'll do anything. You know what I mean? I think that's generally how people are. And I mean, it's understandable. You know what I mean? Everyone is like, everyone, it's your life, you know what I mean? And like, everyone has their own life, whole thing going on. You're only a side character to all these other people's lives, you know what I mean? So why would taking a side character out to benefit the main character's life be so bad in their head, you know what I mean? And maybe you guys would do the same. I think you guys would do the same, even if you guys don't want to admit it. But let me know what you guys think.
Remember, these coworkers is not your fucking friends. They will smile in your face, but they'll be talking shit to you behind your motherfucking back, telling them what you not doing, what you like, what they doing, and that they doing all your work, and that's just completely bullshit. They want to run their mouth and tell you about things and problems that they got going on and say like, hey, I've been working here 4 years, I'm still making the same thing. You keep complaining and shit, but yet the same motherfuckers you complain about, you running tail behind niggas back and shit. These niggas is not your fucking friends. Don't even go to work expecting a friend out of a coworker, because they ass is just as grimy as the fucking managers. Be careful what you do around their ass, because they be quick to motherfucking report to some shit. And God forbid that you having a bad day or off a day, or you got injured or some shit and you can't properly do your job like you was when you first got there. These motherfuckers act like that you not human, that you not allowed to have a bad day or bad moment or to get injured and shit. Life happen. On top of all that, motherfuckers be thinking that you ain't got a life outside the motherfucking job and shit. So don't be thinking that these coworkers is your friend, no matter how cool you is with them, no matter how many times they smile in your motherfucking face. Because I guarantee you, they running back and they telling all your fucking business to your manager. Stay on alert. Stay aware. Alright? I love you.
Never get too comfortable with your coworkers. I wouldn't go as far as saying never trust them, but if you're ambitious, especially if you're ambitious and you've got things going on outside of your work that could potentially replace your job, keep your mouth shut. The moment you open your mouth, you are going to ruin the relationships with your coworkers. That's probably going to force you out of the job. I learned this lesson when I was 19 years old working in retail. I had a friend, let's call him John for the sake of conversation. When you're working in retail, you have all types of people around you. Young, old, ambitious, not ambitious, people that have given up on themselves. You have to be very careful about what you tell these people. But I had a friend at that time, call him John. Me and John used to talk about anything and everything. Football, sports, games, women, anything. We were good friends to the point where we used to have conversations on WhatsApp. 9 months in, everything was going well. He would cover for me when I would call in sick. If I came late, he would make an excuse for me. He literally had my back. Then I had a conversation with him. Relationship never was the same after that. I told him about what I was doing to make money. At that time, I was in copywriting and I just landed a role that was paying me more than I was earning at that retail job. He's 28, 29 years old, been working in retail for the last 10 years at the same company. I thought he would have been happy. Yo, you're young, you just landed this role, it was about 33K a year, happy. He stayed quiet. I didn't perceive it because I wasn't socially aware. From that point onwards, anytime I would come late, he would try to get me in trouble. If I wasn't doing what I was meant to be doing, he would micromanage me, and he was like an assistant manager. And then I realized after a while, why is he being like this? Until it dawned on me that I opened my mouth and I told him about my ambition. Then word went round in the store that I had another job and I was planning to leave. And from that point onwards, moral of the story, don't open your mouth to your coworkers because you don't know their situation and you don't know their intention. You think they are your friends because you have mutual interests based on superficial things. You don't know people's intentions. I wouldn't go as far as saying don't trust any coworker, but really and truly keep your ambitions to your chest.
Now that I'm thinking about that, the most recent guy, like if you're ambitious, don't tell them, because a lot of people, like, work is their entire lives. You know what I mean? If you look at my other videos about like cost of living and stuff like that, people just, work and work and work and work, and they never go out of their way to build something new for themselves or try something new or try to make more income and stuff like that. So when they hear about you doing something or actually trying something or just something going well for you, they envy you. You know what I mean? They're jealous of you, and who knows, maybe they'll sabotage you, or like say you're looking into like new jobs or something where you might get more pay and stuff like that. They might go up, tell HR or something like that, tell on you, gets you fired, hopefully, or with the hope that they take your position, you know what I mean? But it's just like, especially if you're ambitious or have stuff going for you, it's like, don't share that, you know what I mean? You should just, like, if anything, you should just be equal to them. Like, no need to express like your good things going on in life. You don't want people to like view you as something like, oh, I'm gonna be friends with this guy, I'm gonna benefit from being friends with them. You know what I mean? I'm gonna benefit from being friends with them, like in life and at work. You know what I mean? Because it's like, for one, you don't want that as a friendship. Two, like, you never know the opportunity that they might have to like sabotage you or mess you up. They'll take it just like that. You know what I mean? Because they know that you have stuff to lose compared to them. You know what I mean? They envy you if you are ambitious at, like,
I don't got friends at work, okay? I got coworkers, and that gets the girls mad. Let me explain. I come to work to get my little paycheck, and then I go home to live my best life. I work in a hospital, so when it comes to my patients, baby, I go above and beyond for them. I will do anything to help them because they pay my bills. Without them, girl, I'd be on the street. I make sure that they are well taken care of. When it comes to my coworkers, oh, no, ma'am. No. Bad attitudes, the bad behavior, the microaggressions, the passive aggressiveness. Girl, what kind of friend is that? I don't want a friend like that. Which is why, baby, I keep them very far away, and I am very happy with that. Don't nobody bother me. Don't nobody say nothing to me. I'll be having my little lunch break upstairs, quiet. Listen, my mom said it best. In Spanish, she would say, mejor sola que mal acompañada, which translates to better alone than with bad company. So, y'all gonna stay coworkers.
Let me give you a reality check about work. Save this post. You will want to come back to it. Not everyone who calls you teammate is actually on your team. Some people will laugh with you at lunch, bring in donuts, or hype you up in meetings. But the moment there's a chance for them to look good, you're suddenly disposable. They'll sell you out for the smallest payoff. A pat on the back from the boss, a couple of crumbs disguised as recognition. And you won't even see it coming because they'll still be smiling in your face while they do it. That's the game nobody tells you about. Work isn't always about collaboration. It's about leverage. And if you walk around assuming everyone is loyal, you're going to get blindsided. So stop expecting loyalty from people who are only loyal to their own advancement. Protect your reputation, guard your work, and don't get caught off guard by fake friendships in the office. Stay professional, stay cautious, and stay aware.
Your coworkers are not your friends. You need to think very hard on what you want to share with your coworkers, because if anything was to happen and it was just you and them, they will throw you under the bus. I don't care how close you think you are to a coworker that you want to call them your best friend or whatever, but if push comes to shove, they will throw you under the bus. So you should never consider your coworkers your best friends, and you should always limit the amount of information that you share with them. So if you don't know how to separate your work life and your life, you are in for a big disappointment.
To be honest, I think that's a really good way to look at it. Like, you don't have friends at work, you just have co-workers, you know what I mean? Like, they can be your friends there, and they're cool like that, but keep it to work talk, keep it to general talk, you know what I mean? Like, you talk about, like, LeBron, talk about sports and stuff like that, but they don't gotta know about your family, they don't gotta know about the trip you're about to go on, they don't gotta know about your income, like, side income coming in like that. Like, you just need to know between, like, your coworkers who are just, because you're probably just friends with them because of proximity, you know what I mean? You see them every day at work. That's probably why you're cool. Outside of that, you guys probably don't even match, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're only friends. That's also something to remember. Like, you're only friends because of proximity, you know what I mean? You see each other every single day. It'll be kind of hard to, like, not become, like, slightly acquaintances like that, you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that they benefit you in any way. That doesn't mean they won't stab you in the back for, like, a better opportunity and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, that's my way of thinking about it. Because, yeah, you know what I mean? Proximity really forms a lot of quote-unquote friendships. But these friendships, it's in the job, like, environment where everybody's trying to make more money. Everybody's trying to better their lives. So they'll take any opportunity to do that, you know what I mean? Even if it involves sabotaging their quote-unquote friends at work. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? It's like, it's my life. I'm trying to fix and better my life. You know what I mean? It's not about their life. It's my life. That's how they think. You know what I mean? That's how I think they think. So I'm not saying that's how I think, but that's how I think they think.
Trust your coworkers. Not everybody at work is your friends. And the sooner you accept that, the less drama you'll deal with. I'm not saying to be fucking rude. I'm saying just be fucking careful. Because some people will smile in your fucking face, laugh with you at lunch, and repeat everything you said the minute you leave the fucking room. Work is full of people who are bored, people who compete, people who gossip because it makes them feel important. You don't have to tell everyone your business, your relationship, your finances, when your next interview is going to be, your problems at home. Keep some things for the people who actually earned your trust. Being friendly is smart, but being an open book with everybody at work, that's not. The people who truly support you won't need constant updates on your life. And remember, not everyone that's asking questions is asking because they care. Most times they're just collecting information, period. So protect your peace, do your job, watch your back, be kind, but don't confuse proximity with loyalty. Just because you work together, it doesn't mean that they're on your team, period.
You are at that job to collect a check and to build potential relationships for your career moving forward. You are not there to make friends. You might find you a good homegirl that you could sit and have lunch with. You might find you somebody cool. They might be cool enough to hit the bars up with. You know, nobody at the job is cool enough to know your personal business, things having to do with your marriage, things that you're going through with your children. They should not know you like that. They should not know where you stay. Only person that needs to know where you live is HR. They should not be up in your home. They should never see you intoxicated. Hello. Company Christmas party, baby, that's a spy job. They're on an operation because they know when the liquor get to flowing, the lips get to going. Okay, and they listening. They listening for points and keys and things that they can use later. And if they're ever under the impression that you don't need the job, be prepared to lose the job. 100%. Jobs thrive on corporate. Yeah. Unfortunately, if you're not willing to yourself out for the job, you don't have a long life there. They want people that are financially desperate. They want people that are literally work is life. And if that's not you, don't prepare for it to have any sort of longevity. No, 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 no. It's never shocking to me that when it comes time for somebody to be on the chopping block, if it's between you and another person, they're going to choose the one that's more desperate for the job. If they know that you're not desperate for the job, they're going to make sure the other person stays and you go. 100%. If they're the type of company that they want people there butts in seats, they want to monitor you, they want to see you every day, they want to make sure you don't have no emergencies, screw your kids, screw your family, screw your health, they want you there sick, damn near dead, different, right? And if you want a type of person, people that takes days off, and the whole culture of the building, they don't take days, be prepared to lose their job.
People might not agree with this, but I think one of the messiest things that you can do is have relations with someone at your job. Like, in my opinion, bro, I think that's worse than having relations with somebody at your gym. Like, with your gym, bro, at least you could go to a different gym. Like, if you and somebody have a falling out at the same gym, you and a young lady or you and a young man, you can go to a different gym and you don't have to see that person again. But at your job, bro, like, if you mess with somebody at your job, you're not going to just pick up and leave that job. Most likely, you're not going to do that. And if you have relations with someone at your job and that shit ends, it's going to be awkward when you're there. People are going to be talking. People are going to be talking behind your back about you and this person. Or rumors are going to start going around, all types of stuff. And now, you go to work. Work is already stressful. And now you got to deal with this shit when you get to work. Like, who wants to deal with that while you're at work? You're already tired and all that shit. And then you got to get off, go home, do whatever, and come back to work and deal with the same thing. Like, if you got shit going on outside of work with women or men or whatever, just deal with them. I promise you, it's enough people to go around in the world for you rather than having to deal with somebody at your job that you're going to see all the time. And then that's partly the problem too, because you see them every day, you talk to them every day. A lot of times you start building a connection and shit, and then people take it a little bit further. Like, yeah, it can be tempting sometimes, but you got to think about the bigger picture. Like, if you're going to be at this job for years and shit, and you build a career there, it's best to not do that. Just leave it alone. Leave work people as work people, and then just go home.
Yeah, bro. Along with like not being too like oversharing and like stuff like that at work, where you don't gotta like or don't trust them that much. It's like, especially like dating them or something like that. Like, because for one, in most workplaces, you're not allowed to do that. I'm pretty sure it's like prohibited and stuff like that, right? So if you are doing that, you're already breaking the rule. Either can snitch on you. You know, you can both lose your jobs. One can snitch, lose a job. You can get accused of something. You know what I mean? And even if nothing happens, but you guys just have like a little fallout, it's the same. Like, it's the same as having a fallout with a friend, where you can just like it's like awkward. You know what I mean? But that's just friends. You know what I mean? Like, you can rebuild that. But if you're like messing around with them and stuff like that, and like you already know. I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but like if you're doing that stuff, like that's a lot more awkward. I feel like, you know what I mean? Because that's like, I don't know. Like, my opinion on it is probably different than you guys because I'm younger. But you know what I mean? Like, that's very awkward. That's all I can really say about that. So yeah.
Never, ever, and I repeat, never share any personal details about you to any coworker. You do not know what their motives are at the end of the day for them asking this information from you. These people are not your friends. It's like a forced environment with people, right? They're not friends that you're actively choosing. Yeah, you happen to be in the same environment, but you just don't know where these people's heads are at when you are sharing information about yourself, or if they're asking information. You just kind of want to be a little wary, a little careful about what you give away. You just don't know if these types of people are looking for something to use against you in the future. If they're using that as like some way like, oh, maybe that's why she's messing up at work, because she's going through this at work, right? and therefore they'll tell management. You just don't know what they have against you. Be very vague when you share anything. There's people that are looking for your downfall in a coworker situation. And I'm not saying for everything, okay? But just to keep yourself just safe from any possible bad situation, keep everything on lock. Like, do not tell anybody anything about you. Do your job, get in, get out. That's it. Want to be friends with your coworkers? I get that, but just keep it very superficial. You don't need to let them know anything right away. Just because you don't know what people's motivations are and their intentions are, and you just don't know if they have evil eye for you, they want you out of the company and they're pretending to be your friend. Don't trust people so easily in a coworker situation. You just don't know who they are at the end of the day. Make sure that you're tracking and documenting everything that you're doing, because some of these people will say that you didn't do something, report that to management, and who knows, maybe they've been there for a long time and they take their word over yours. So always document everything. Don't share anything with a coworker. You will just protect yourself at the end of the day, and that's all you need to worry about.
Don't ever trust nobody at your job. Some people at your job is not your friend. Y'all just coworkers. You got to keep it at that type of relationship, because people be trying to get information on you. They trying to find out your life, and a lot of them people, they be jealous. Like, definitely if you got something going on outside of work and work is all they got going, they be hating on you about that. So don't tell them about anything good that's happening in your life, that you finna hit the lotto, that you finna find another job, that you finna, better yourself. You finna start doing another career or going to school for this. Cause boy, they gonna sabotage you. They gonna sabotage you. Some people, they be mad cause they ain't got the thrive or the fight to be able to try to do something better in their life. And they know that this is the end goal for them. So when you go to talk about positive stuff that's going to, get you to the next level, get you up out of this job, they don't like that. Sometimes they want to get you up out of the job before you even get to that goal. Cause they like, yeah, now what you going to do now? Now you stranded. And the main ones to watch out for is the ones that was a regular employee like you, and then they get promoted. They change. Really, they was already changed, because them be the brown noses. They be the ones that be kissing ass. They be just kissing ass. And then once they get promoted and they get that little power, boy, they be trying to take advantage of it. They be trying to take advantage of it. The whole time, they'll be trying to act like they cool with you, but behind your back, they throwing salt all on your name, trying to get you fired, trying to get you rolled up and all that there. So be careful. Just come in here, make your money, take your ass home. These people is not your friends. They not your friends. Like I say, a lot of them, they be jealous of you. Definitely if you got something else going on outside of the job. Some people, this is their whole life. That's why you'll have the people that been at a job 20, 30 years and they just be stuck in their ways. And most of them don't get promoted. They just be a follow the leader type person. And if you ain't coming in there with that same mentality, they don't like that. They hate a strong mind. So like I say, don't trust nobody at your job. They not your friends.
Work people are not your friends. Why y'all be going to work looking for friends? The fuck? That's the number one people you should never trust in this world. Work people, coworkers. And don't get it fucked up, because you might get cool with maybe like one or two people, but baby, these people ain't your friends. These will be the same people that will sit up in your face and literally go right to your boss telling every motherfucking thing. And them ones that be like, oh, you gotta watch out from. Nah, that's the one that you gotta watch out from. First of all, I come to work. I don't come to work to make friends. So that's the whole wrong mindset right there. I don't give a fuck about what my coworker doing, who my coworker may be sleeping with, what this person got going on. I don't give two fucks, because what you eat don't make me shit. And the one thing I don't play the work cliques, the work bullies. I don't do all of that. And we damn sure ain't being friends on motherfucking social media. Bitch, you are blocked before you can even find me.
Bro, there isn't really much more I can say, bro. It's just coworkers just aren't your friends, bro. And you can hear the stories in this video, and maybe even your personal experiences. Let me know your personal experiences down in the comments, you know what I mean?
Here's why you shouldn't become friends with your coworkers. I had a friend who worked with a team of 4 other people, and the 4 other people got laid off. So my friend texted the group chat and was like, hey, how are you guys doing?
here's some jobs, let me know if you need anything. Now, over the course of this month, they're like complaining about the bosses they didn't like, or just complaining about the organization and how they did things, and like the way that this layoff went down. My friend is participating in the conversation because like she's also annoyed by how everything went down. Specifically, they all had this one boss who like they just had a hard time with. My friend said that the boss was like nice seemingly, but like could be difficult to follow sometimes and seemed to lose her train of thought very often, and it was just very confusing to work for this woman. So one day, a month after the layoffs, that same boss starts acting like really weird. So then my friend got called into a meeting with HR and that person's boss. So naturally she's like, oh my God, like it's a second round of layoffs. I'm going to be next. Like I'm going home. So she gets into this meeting, and it's like at like 7:30 a.m. or like a ridiculously early time. She gets into the meeting, and then HR is like, hey, we got wind of a text message that you were on, and granted it was on your personal phone, but we got wind of this text message you were on, and we want to know if you can explain what you were saying in these text messages. So HR begins to like read line by line everything that my friend had been saying in these messages and asks her to explain each and everything. So like, remember my friend's boss, who everybody had trouble with, could be like forgetful sometimes. So my friend said that she would often call her Dory in these text messages because she was so forgetful. So HR is like, so you called X, Y, and Z Dory. What did you mean by that? So of course my friend's wondering like, okay, who gave you guys these text messages? Because at this point it's one of the people. Just be careful out here. Don't trust people. Nothing's safe. Not even your personal phone.
Your coworkers are not your friends. I have learned this lesson many, many, many times in my days. I don't care how cool they seem at the beginning. I don't care how inviting they are. I don't care how much of the business, their business, that they choose to tell you. You don't do the same thing. The baby was crying, so she will be a part of this video now. The easiest way to get caught up in some bullshit at work is to become close and personal friends with your coworker. I'ma step it up a notch too and say this: becoming friends with your manager. Now I will say this, every blue moon you will get lucky. I have been blessed with 2 women in my life that are still my friends to this day that were my managers. That is Dee and that is Stephanie. I love the both of you guys so much. Outside of them, horrible experiences with friendships at work and managers at work. You get to being way too close to your coworker or your manager, and it is almost guaranteed that you're gonna end up quitting, you're gonna end up getting fired, or they might end up getting fired. Because I never told you guys this story, and I'm not gonna go in too deep, but I will say it started off like, oh my God, she's gonna be like the mom of this job. She is amazing, she's great. She's calling me in her office, we are talking, and then things went left real quick. Biggest mistake I made with that manager is that I did not put boundaries up at the beginning. I let it all flow. I let her say and do whatever. I thought it was cool. I thought I could say this. I thought she could say that. I just let everything go. She called me after work hours. I didn't put a hold to it. I didn't stop that. But when I finally got tired and irritated with certain things, everything hit the fan, and it was bad. It was bad. Let's just say workplace retaliation is a real thing. Do not get it twisted. So the next time you start a job, I want you to be mindful of the boundaries that you have before you start getting real close with your coworker or your manager. Because I'm telling you, it can end so bad for you, especially female to female. Don't do it.
I'm not gonna lie, bro, that story of like how they were talking about the manager and calling her Dory, bro, that's clever and pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. But the fact that, or like, bro, that story should tell you exactly what you should think about friends at work, you know what I'm saying? Like, and in that case scenario, I'm pretty sure they were all gone already, right? So she got fired off of people who were already fired, and they just wanted to drag her down with them. Like, that's so weird, no? Like, that's actually, like, a friend wouldn't do that to a friend, you know what I'm saying? That's basically what I'm trying to get at right now. These are just people who you work with, you know what I'm saying? They're not friends at all. Like, they don't care about you. They care, I mean, like, they can care about you a little bit, maybe, but they care about themselves a lot more, especially in a work setting where getting rid of somebody could potentially benefit them, you know what I mean? You can get them more hours, or I mean, in this case scenario, They just wanted to drag her down with them. Like, that's dead ass weird. You know what I mean? Like, they're not even gaining anything from it. You're just dragging her down with them. Like, that's so weird, bro.
All right, so this is a story on why you should not make friends at work. So when I was 19, I was working at a restaurant, right? And like it was a couple of girls working there, and I made friends with this girl. She was 26, which it was a weird age gap because I felt like I was more mature at 19 than she was at 26. But anyways, we was working at the restaurant. I used to come in late sometimes. She would come in late. A couple of girls would come in late. So our manager eventually said like, oh, if y'all keep coming in late, we're going to write y'all down and eventually you'll get fired. So I took it serious because I was like, all right, you know, I don't want to lose my job right now. So I started like taking time out, like aside to get breakfast or get lunch and, you know, lounge before I enter work. Because, you know, you can't eat on the floor, and you know, I just wanted to take that time out for myself. So she said she was going to do the same thing because, you know, it's the smart thing to do. So this is like the first thing that happened that made me think like, can I really be friends with this girl? Like, it was really a red flag. So I was on my way to work and I stopped by the pizza shop like up the block to get pizza and to, you know, sit down before going to work. And she called me and she's like, oh, Aisha, where are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm at the pizza shop, like I'm by the restaurant. And she's like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not in the mood right now, like I don't even want to be here, my energy's down. She said something like, oh, could you do me a favor, like a huge favor? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, oh, do you mind getting me Starbucks? And like the time that it was like, I think like around 3 o'clock, and like the area is just like so packed with people. It's the meat packing district, so if you know, you know it gets super packed by tourists. So I was already like, I don't want to do this, but you know, we just started becoming friends, so let me just do this favor. So I go to Starbucks and it's packed like what I imagined, and I'm already on time, so I'm about to be late. And I called her, I'm like, hey, what do you want? And she says she wants a pineapple refresher. And I'm like, girl, what you mean? Like, you so tired, like then get coffee. But whatever. So I got her the pineapple refresher, went to work. I was late at work, you know, people already looking like, oh, you late, like, you know, because you shouldn't be late. And then it's awkward, like the walkthrough was already like, everyone has to see you walk through. So I give her the the refresher, and then she's like, she takes one sip and she's like, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't even want this, like it's not my type, like, or it's not my like the type of flavor I want. I didn't know it was gonna taste like this. And then she puts it down and she's like, do you want it? And I'm like, no, I don't want it. And then she says, okay, so I'm just gonna throw it in the garbage because it doesn't make any sense. So she throws it in the garbage, which I low-key felt like that was disrespectful, but I'm like, whatever. So she throws it in the garbage, and I told her, I'm like, bro, you made me wait in line to get this coffee. I came to work late and you didn't even want it. She's like, I'm sorry. And then like she laughed, and I'm like, all right, whatever, it's not big of a deal, you know. So then like the next week we was on the schedule for the same day, and she calls me right before my shift starts and she's like, oh, Aisha, where are you? And I was like, I'm about to walk to the building. Like I was literally walking to the building and she's at work. That's what's blowing me. So she's like, oh, do you mind getting me? And then she says like some food. She's like, do you mind getting me? And I'm like, no, like I'm not about to turn around in my tracks to get you food because you didn't like take the time off to get yourself food. I was like, honestly, Jasmine, yeah, I'll say her name. I'm like, honestly, Jasmine, like not right now because like I'm about to be late. And she was like, really, like really, you can't get me out of that? And I was like, honestly, no, because it's like, that's so selfish. How you asking me to get you food? You could have got yourself food before you clocked in. So I go to work and then I say hi to the girls and whatever. And then when it's time for me to say hi to her, she like turns around and then she rolls her eyes. She literally goes like this. And then she like keeps going on about her day. Like she like ignores me the whole day. And literally I'm thinking, all right, so we're not friends anymore. Like, you know, it is what it is. this girl, at the end of the night, she's gonna be like, I don't like when we I don't like when we argue, or I don't like when we fight. Why are we fighting? I'm like, girl, like, what are you talking about? Oh my god, I couldn't even do anything but laugh. But at the time, I was just like, come on, like, that's not funny. Like, you literally didn't talk to me all day because you're tight that I didn't give you food. And she was like, no, I thought you was mad, that's why. And I was like, all right. But no, this girl is literally crazy. And then for that situation, she did call me selfish one day for that. But whatever. We had like a rocky relationship, whatever. And then eventually I had to cut this girl off because she was moving crazy. But that's my story on why I do not trust coworkers. That already scarred me like when I was 19, and like I'm already scarred for the rest of my life now. Do not trust coworkers. Keep your personal life and then your private life totally separate. You do not have to make friends at work. You can, but don't go out of your way to do it. Yeah.
And you guys seen that 6-minute video, bro. I just gotta reiterate everything here, you know what I'm saying? It's like, people at work are not your friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, because everybody's there, bro. You're only at work to make money, bro. Like, that's the only reason why you should be at work. You know what I mean? You're not going to work to make friends. If you want to go make friends, go play basketball, go to the bar, go to the mall, talk to somebody. And I guess it's easier to become friends with your people, like people at work, because of the proximity, you know what I mean? It's the same as like school. But like, even if you become friends with people, obviously there's the outliers, you know what I mean? There's gonna be those good people that you run into and stuff like that. But majority of the time, you're at work to make money. You're at work to further benefit your life. And people wouldn't hesitate to get rid of you to benefit them, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of jealousy that occurs, especially at work, where you're there for money. It involves money. So anything related to money, a lot of jealousy is involved. You know what I mean? If you're doing good, they're jealous of you. They're gonna try to sabotage you, or they're just secret animosity, you know what I mean? And they might talk shit about you. And I think not oversharing, that keeps you out of drama at work. Because why is there even drama at work? Like, you guys are grown adults, you guys are just there for the paycheck. Why is there drama? I think everybody should have the ability to communicate any issues that could potentially turn into drama or turn into like any problems at work, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is a lot longer video than usual. Not gonna lie, I couldn't really contribute much to this video. I didn't really know what to say because it's like I'm just reiterating the same point. You know what I'm saying? But I hope you guys got something out of this video. Let me know if you guys want more videos like this. You know, longer, kind of like about kind of like a more vague topic. Not usually what I'm used to posting, but yeah, just let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hope you guys all have a great day. Peace out.